Great.
Yes.
So this morning, I'm having a conversation with Sarah Kanter. You are the owner of Those Who Wander Travel,
Yes.
and you won two of our awards last year, two Questies. You were the winner of a Monarch Agency of Excellence Award. And then you also won a Crown Award, top sales for multi advisor agencies. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
And also, you are the top status in our gym program. You are a Black Diamond.
Yes.
Do you own a Black Diamond?
No, but I should. Yes.
We should make that one of the benefits, right?
Definitely.
Josh is going to watch this and say, "What is she thinking?"
Yes.
So, tell me, I know you're there in Lincoln, Nebraska. Is this correct? Okay, and that you've been a member of Travel Quest, I believe, since August of 2017. Is that
Correct.
correct? So
Yeah.
this is your anniversary month.
Yes.
So how did you get started in the travel business?
I actually started in corporate travel doing corporate retreats for small businesses
Mhm,
while I was doing human resources. So it was kind of like an add on to that job.
mhm.
It was done. Human resources you can only do for so long. So when I was kind of burnt out on that career, I kind of took the things that I learned doing corporate travel and wanted to do more leisure and work for myself. So
Mhm.
that's when I contacted Bonnie um, back
Oh,
in 2017, and her and I had a phone conversation, and it just felt perfect. And that's how I got started.
you make it sound very simple, but
Mhm.
I think your corporate background, though, probably helped you. Uh, do you think?
Definitely, because corporate travel comes with a lot of challenges of pleasing people that you don't necessarily know or uh,
Yes.
work with directly. So it's always about customer first attitude, and I think that is what travel is too. Even when you don't know them or don't want to know them, you have to make sure that they're happy no matter what. And so that
Mhm,
did come into play when starting Those Who Wonder for sure.
mhm. And I've had some corporate travel background in the past, and I know that it's every day you wake up in corporate travel, it's a new day that you never really know what type of request you're going to get or the changes that are going to happen.
Constant changes. Yes.
So yes. So I was looking at your website, and I love it.
Thank you.
I love the home page. It just really draws you in because as soon as you click on it, it's like you're on the beach.
Yes. That's the
It
goal.
looks live. It really does look like a live camera focused on some beautiful beach somewhere. And it across very large across the top there, it says your easy and free way to book your next adventure.
Yes.
Now, does this mean that your agency does not charge fees?
We do not charge fees. We do charge fees for air bookings, and
Yes.
for weddings. Otherwise, we
Mhm.
are one of the few holdouts for charging fees in the industry, I think, yes.
Okay. And so someone can click there on your website and get a free quote for travel.
Yes, so we have an inquiry page where you choose an agent. Right now, there's 3 of us, me, Sydney Stubbs, and Brittany Pelagic, um,
Mhm,
and you can choose which agent you would like to work with, and
mhm.
then we, reply with a live email, basically starting the conversation once they fill out our inquiry form.
Oh, okay. Okay. And once someone sends a request through, what's usually the timing? How soon will they get a reply back from you?
I mean, typically within 24 hours, unless one of us is traveling, I would say at most 48 hours.
Mhm,
We get quotes out within Mexico, Caribbean quotes within 48 hours. Our Europe
mhm,
quotes can take up to two
mhm,
weeks, depending upon the ask.
mhm.
So it just depends on the trip.
Yes. But when they fill out that form, do you have some kind of automatic answer that says we've received your request, or do you get back with something
It's
pretty
a
soon?
live response. So we are in charge of responding as soon as we receive the form. So they do not get an auto reply email. It's a person replying to them for their
Okay.
inquiry.
Well, that personal service seems to be working for you.
Yes, that is, I think one of the foundations of our agency is just personal relationships.
That's something I noticed about your website that seems a bit different from others that I've seen. Your website doesn't really go much into destinations or descriptions. Your website focuses on your customers and on their testimonials. I love your testimonial page. It's one of the easiest I've ever seen to read, and it really draws you in. I found myself just sitting and reading those, and your customers, they're pretty vocal about their trips and how much fun they had. So,
Yeah, our customers are fantastic.
yes, you have some great customers. And, so your webpage, your website
Mhm.
really is focused on your service and what you and your agents can offer and how easy it is to book a trip with you.
Yes. Yes. I
So
mean, we are the truth is travel agents do compete with online travel agencies like Expedia, and,
mhm,
so we have to be as simple as possible. We are as detailed as possible, but the initial consult has to be simple. We
right.
can't make it difficult. So that is the goal, to
Mhm.
draw people in, and then the relationship building is what keeps people.
And I noticed, was reading through your agents, and I loved Brittany's pro tip. I think this is brilliant. I've never read this anywhere else. Always have your next trip booked, so coming home from vacation won't be so bad.
Definitely. Yeah.
I love that.
Yes.
Does she have many people take her up on that?
All the time. I mean, we have people contacting us while they're on vacation, planning their next vacation. So, or people that have 4 trips booked out throughout the year. We just
Wow.
keep it going.
Yes.
Mhm.
In the past, I had Princess customers. Princess passengers seem to always want to have 2 or 3 Princess cruises in their pocket, or they
Mhm.
get nervous if they don't have something.
Definitely. Yes.
So tell me, I was looking at what you yourself
Mhm.
seem to specialize in, and one of your top things that you mentioned is international travel.
Mhm.
So what tell me about some of the trips that you book and some that have been your most enjoyable to plan.
I think my top destination is Mexico by far, and it is my personal favorite destination. It was my first international trip when I was 15, and I think, you just get tied to destinations for personal reasons, and it
Mhm,
makes me really good at planning trips there for other people. I think we do a lot of family vacations, a ton of honeymoons, just getting into the emotion of a trip is really important. So,
mhm.
um, Mexico, Caribbean, we do a whole lot of Europe. That's really picked up, as everybody knows, in 2023.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right. We're seeing a trend for people booking further out. The 2025 bookings seem to really be growing. Are you finding that also?
For our cruise people, yes, they want to start looking into 2025. We get a lot of inquiries for our weddings into 2025, which is great because that's the way it should be for weddings.
Mhm.
I do have people who would like to book their Mexico trips into 2025, but we can't quite do that yet. So
Right,
I tell them to be a little bit more patient.
right,
Mhm.
right. Um, and you mentioned on your cruise booking. So do you get many requests for cruise groups?
We do not get many requests for groups. We're not a big groups agency, unless we're doing weddings. So that is
Oh,
something that we've really dove into.
are you considering maybe doing some of these travel with me type groups where you put the group together and invite your customers to go with you?
I don't think that's my niche necessarily, but that doesn't mean one of my agents won't do that at some point. Um,
Mhm,
I'm a pretty personal traveler, so I like to kind of make my own schedule, do my own thing.
mhm,
Travel to me, while it is my business, when I'm traveling, unless I'm doing site inspections and meeting with management, is
mhm,
really a personal experience for me. So at
mhm,
this point, I would say no, that's not something I'm interested in, but I never rule anything out because everything changes. At,
mhm.
so.
Now, I didn't get a chance to look at whether do you also have a Facebook page where you promote,
Yes.
and do your customers go there and give you testimonials?
Actually, our website is a live feed from our Facebook page, so the testimonials that we get on Facebook live.
Oh, okay. Okay. And do you promote certain destinations or trips on Facebook?
I think we're a unique agency in that we don't promote anything other than our clients' current vacations. So if you go to any of our social media pages, we're not there promoting packages. We're posting pictures of our clients' vacations.
Mhm.
Um, if you go to Those Who Want to Travel Agency on Facebook or Instagram, all you're going to see is our client photos. Or if we do site inspections, we'll post those.
Mhm.
Otherwise, we don't promote anything other than our current clients' trips.
And what about newsletters?
We should do a newsletter, um, but we don't. I would say, the goal for 2023 really was to get a virtual assistant to do some of that back office stuff, and I have failed at doing that so far. Just keeping busy with our current workload has kept us. I mean, we're where we want to be sales wise, so it's hard to build onto that. But
Mhm.
that would be the goal, is to do a newsletter and to do more engagement marketing that way at some point.
Yes.
Mhm.
Have you had a chance to look at our content creator?
Yes, I've started it, and then, I get a phone call and somebody's flight was canceled, so I have to put that aside, and then I deal with the current client situation. But definitely, I think it looks amazing, and I think I will definitely use it for agent profiler is one thing that I'm not a super agent. I have, I think, 59 reviews and
Mm.
tons of trips on there, and I get clients, but I'm not a super agent. And content creator is one thing I will use to make that happen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You certainly have enough testimonials, and so if you're not, there may be some little thing that's missing that
yeah,
you could easily become.
it is. Yeah, it's just me taking the time to do it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well, it's hard to argue with anything you're saying because you're black diamond level.
Thank you. Yeah, it is all about, we're just busy, busy all the time, and so while there's definitely things we could be doing better, it's just finding time to do that is a challenge.
What about referrals? Do you think a certain percentage of your customers are referral customers?
I would say 90% of our new clients are referrals, and that is
Wow.
what makes, our business just run the way that it does. Returns and referrals is really what we set our laurels on.
And really for me, that's the most solid type of business
Yes.
because those referrals, they trust you,
Mhm.
they listen to your advice, and it seems like it's easier to close a sale with that type of customer.
Yes, I mean, if my best friend's gonna recommend me to somebody, I'm gonna trust what they say over just an internet search. So I think that
Right.
works in our favor a lot when we get referrals come in. Our
Mhm.
close rate's really high and our return customer rate is really high. So I think that's what we do right for sure.
Yeah. And what about suppliers? Since you are such a high level, are you focusing on certain suppliers to help you keep that level?
Yes, so I would say COVID changed a lot for us. We were hardcore ALG fans. We did not love how ALG handled stuff during COVID. We switched a lot of our business to American Airlines Vacations. And then about a year ago, we started to not like the way they were handling things. So we are transitioning everything back to ALG.
Mhm.
Our BDM for Travel Quest, Aaron, is fantastic. And
Mhm.
that's a change that we've seen with ALG too, is just better support. So we do a lot of our Mexico Caribbean trips with the ALG brands.
Yes, I see such an improvement, and you're right, Erin is excellent at what she does, and their new way to even contact them is such an improvement, so
Definitely. Yes.
that's great, and, when you're using those suppliers in the ALGV group, that gives you an opportunity if it's a trip that doesn't have a lot of commission in there, you can add that. Do you do that? Add your extra commissions in?
We do. I would say we won't work for less than 10%. So sometimes there are times where, United Vacations or Southwest Vacations will fall short.
Oh,
And
yes.
I tell my agents, your time is at least worth 10% of the commission. So
Right. Good for you.
We'll do minimum there, and then sometimes if it's a group and there's, other caveats that go into that, we may need to bump it up a little bit just depending upon the certain situation.
And I love that feature in ALGV where you can create a sales email. Do you use that in your quotes?
All the time. I think that's what draws me to ALG, honestly, is their quote feature is easier than any other supplier
Mhm.
that we work with. They make it easy to sell them when it comes to that.
I agree. And I'm learning that several of our members have never even seen that feature.
Yeah.
And they're still doing some cutting and pasting. I'm like, no, 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 stop that.
Yeah. Yep.
Stop that right now.
Yeah.
So, well, that's great. So, what about um, what about FIT type quotes for Europe and international?
So we've kind of gone through the suppliers this year. Avanti has been a huge one for us, not without some issues, but I think all European suppliers have had issues this year.
True.
Europe Express, we've dabbled in Travel Life for our Greece trips. Go Away has been in there. So we're kind of
Okay.
testing all the major ones out just to see where we fit. Sydney does a lot of Europe, and so her and I kind of work with different suppliers to see how they interact. I think I've landed on Avanti, even given some of their issues.
Mhm.
And I think she's kind of settled in with Go Away. So it just depends on the relationship you have with your person.
True, true. And I used Avanti quite a bit in the past. I had one lady that I could just email her and
Mm,
she put it together for me. Do they still do that?
yes, definitely. I
Great.
mean, that's why we use them instead of somebody like Classic, which I know Classic is great, but I need to email somebody from the get go. I don't have time to call people. Um,
Right.
so I use the suppliers that will email me quotes.
And it's interesting that you bring up GoWay because we have seen such an increase in our members using and selling GoWay.
Mhm.
And I know that Paul, one of in our staff that works with suppliers, I think he's working to see if maybe we can make them a preferred and draw them in a little closer and maybe get some more commission. So that
It'd
would
be
be great.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. And then on your destination weddings, I know one of your is it Brittany that does the destination weddings?
Sydney and Brittany. Sydney does a lot more than Brittany. Brittany's only been in the agency for about a year, so she's fairly new.
Oh, oh,
Sydney does quite a few weddings. I think she does 4 a year, one a quarter, 1 to 2 a
oh
quarter.
my gosh.
Depending on how big they are, just to keep it under control.
That's a lot. 4 of those in a year.
I try not to do weddings at all
Yeah,
costs. So I admire their wherewithal to do even one wedding a year for sure.
takes nerves of steel, really.
It does. It does. Yeah.
So, is there a particular hotel, chain or hotel group that she uses or tries to focus on?
She has done a lot with sandals, and then she is doing a lot with Hyatt, actually, Playa Resorts. Um,
Really?
we found them very easy to work with when it comes to specific requests that we need.
Uh-huh.
So I think she's done quite a few with the Zivas and Zolaras.
Great. Okay. So, lastly, before we end, I'd like some advice for you to give some advice to our new members. If you're a new member starting out, new in the travel business, what
Mm.
would you suggest they do to get that business going?
I think patience, first of all, because it takes time. I tell any new agent starting out, you probably don't see a lot of money for your first 2 years. So if you're expecting to roll in and cash in, that's not going to happen. Even my agents that start with me, I tell them the same thing. Otherwise, it's networking. It's all about talking. If you go to dinner with another couple or with a group of people, most people talk about travel at some point. It's just always a point of conversation. So put yourself out there and just say, this is what I'm doing now. Would you be interested in working with me? Here's my website. Here's my business card. Just the little things, dropping notes along the way. But travel is always a topic of conversation. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
kind of easier to build because of that compared to other businesses you may be in.
Yeah, it seems to be more fun to talk about.
It is, yeah.
It is fun, and people love to talk about their trips.
People like to talk about themselves. So
Yes.
yeah. So themselves and what they do, and so just engaging on that level with them, I think is important.
True, true. So, are you attending World this year?
I am. Yes.
Yay,
Yep.
okay, yes, so will meet you in person.
Yes.
Yes, that's great, that's great. Are the other agents coming with you?
They are.
Wow, okay.
It'll
So,
be fun.
that'll be great.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I have really enjoyed our conversation this morning, and I look forward to seeing you at World. And I just see you're going to keep growing, so you probably need to start looking at either some assistance or finding you another agent to add.
That is the plan. Yes.
All right, Sarah. Well, I will see you next month.
Sounds great. Thanks, Velma.
Thank you. Bye.